but we've learned a lot by reading this book, especially when it comes to the financial aspect of things in Chriselle and I, Chriselle and myself marriage. He's the one really, tracking stuff like that, tracking everything, the expenses, stuff like that. So yeah, I really like the point that you guys brought up when talking about the coffee stuff like that. Honestly, I'm still wondering how people in this country they I mean, again, like Fred Thomas said, it's just Fred Arun said, it's just to show off, and but we are aware, we have the knowledge, we have to stop doing things that doesn't make sense at all by reading these books. So one more time, thank you, everyone. And today is my birthday, just so you know.
Oh,
Oh,
happy
happy birthday
birthday to
to you.
Thank
you.
you.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, you have a nice
Happy
voice.
birthday, dear
Happy birthday,
Stacy.
Steve.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday to
birthday to you. Oh
So,
my God.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so
so
much. Yeah.
I know Beyond is about to close, but just a reminder. I don't know, but just my thought. Can we put a challenge for next week? By next week, at this moment, everyone here should have done something that they postponed for a long time.
Yeah.
Because we read this book, we got to do stuff. We cannot just and talk about them, right? We
Okay.
got to do so. Let's say for next week, everyone gonna say, hey, you know, I did
I
this
have
from the
accomplished
book, and
this.
we're all gonna come up with something.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So
Wow.
take
So
this moment
we need to make
productive.
the moment productive. Other than that, will be like the people who read the Bible and the Catholic Church. Every 3 years they read it again. Every 3 years they read it again, and we read the same thing, but we're not doing anything. Sorry. I don't agree with the author when he said that money has nothing to do with love. That's open debate. But without money, love doesn't sustain. It doesn't grow. It die easily. And among the things, if in the book that bring divorce, money is part of them. Some of the root cause of the high rate of divorce in this country and anywhere else. So money is somehow involved. When you start, the woman start saying he cannot provide, he's not. It means the end. But if money is there, at least you look at money and the money feed the love and the love sustain. So when he say,
Somebody feed the
yeah, you look at the interest and you feel like if I move from here, what I gonna get and what I will be, right? Back in the day, like if you take 100, 200 years back when it's only the men who work, you don't have that many divorces because the man was the sole provider and nothing was on the woman names. That's why the woman cannot go. But today, praise the Lord, they cut USA ID in Benin. All of the women, when I was living in Benin, all of the women who work for USA ID, they're divorced because they're getting paid like almost 500,000. And back then in
Yeah.
2005,
Ten,
like
ten times the
2,000,
husband's salary.
and they don't need a husband, right? But just to say, money has something to do with love. We need to have
money.
money, like period. We need. If we don't have money, we have problem. So, and
It's,
also the book also. Go ahead.
no. Finish. It's just I
I
want to
said
add.
the book, part of the book also is more for Western civilization because both of the people in the couple, the husband and the wife, has to be reader to be able to plan some of all of this stuff that we are talking about, right? That's the way it's gonna
Mm.
work. If one cannot read, it's kind of difficult. And also it depends on the couple. If one is a big spender, a gambler, the book won't work for that couple because the other person just gonna take the money and go and do the other stuff, right? Some people back when I was working at Walmart, I have a friend. she has a disease, and her disease was she cannot sit down at home with money in her bank account. She had to go to the mall and spend all, and then she'll be looking for overtime. And she will tell you that she cannot sit down at home. Why she have money and she sit down at home? She had to go out and spend it and then start over. But just
Hear
to put
anything.
some prospect.
I'm gonna jump in really quickly for Bion.
Yeah.
Great conversation going on right now, but Bion needs to close out the meeting because Bion has school. So Bion,
Abia, you can go.
I'll hand it off to you, Bion.
Okay. Everyone has
Okay.
said what they need to said. So the
Next week.
next week, I'm going to be presenting the book. And thank you, everyone. Meeting adjourned.
Let's see.
Thank
So
you.
who?
Hold on, Bion.
The book is the
5
5 a.m.
a.m.
Club. Own Your Morning, Elevate Your Love. Yeah, the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma and Adam Werner.
That's
Who will be the master of ceremony?
Steve will be the master of ceremony.
Okay.
all right. So we can continue our talk.
Yeah, beyond you can go. Shira, if you want to go, so you can go. But don't forget to be millionaire before 34.
Okay,
I will
that's
help
the
you.
plan. Okay.
We have to draft it. Well, for Beyond, I'm sure Beyond gonna make it. I have to argue a little bit with Shira to do it.
Okay.
Because it's a question of a number.
Yes.
And if someone someone give you the formula, like the thing that we saw in this book, when I finish it, I call it like how you say in English, like la recette du bonheur. It's like a wealth formula, right? So if you look at the number and you get someone disciplined enough and you know what you can afford to put at that place, you just close every eyes and no matter what, you put it over there and you live with whatever is remaining, right? They say 10% or 15%, you can do 50, you can do 45. You just have to close your eyes, cut some other stuff. It depends on how well you want to reach that goal.
All right.
So
Olumide
I let
was saying,
Nasib go out.
yeah, Olumide was saying something about that, saying that when you see, he was a pastor, very, very poor pastor. So when he met his first wife, he declared, "Oh, I love you," and the lady loved him at that time. So he was coming back now saying that if the lady says she loves you as you are, it doesn't mean that she loves you the way you are to stay like that. She's planning that you have to change in the
What
future.
should be here?
You have to improve.
Yeah, because it was his first error by being poor and married. And the second error was being poor and impregnate his wife. That's another error. And the third one was when a kid comes in, everything's changed. He said that he has more than 10,000 people relying on him in the church. But when he gets home, his wife will say, "You are not a man. You cannot even provide for your family. You are not a man." He said, "Oh my goodness, am I not really a man?" He started doubting his manness because of the poverty. So it's very, very important that we find out the way to do it. And it's a formula, as Fred Thomas is saying, is a formula. And we know the formula now. We know it.
Yeah.
We know it. And it's just to put it in the application. And sometimes when you are doing it, you blame yourself that why I didn't do this one 10 years ago. Why I didn't do this one
we
5
don't
years
know.
ago. Because we didn't know. And sometimes we might know, but what should I say? Sometimes we know, we who went to classes for that, we know, but it's kind of for psychological as well. You might know it, say, "Oh, it's for another people," but it doesn't apply to you. So it's very, very, we are emotional animals as well. So we have to take that point into consideration. And thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that is true.
Thank you. I don't know. Shelley want to interview in Cologne? Because I have a lot. So.
No. Please,
No,
please
the book
chip
is
in more.
just damn good. The
So,
book is just damn good. I love it.
I want to quote Joyce Mayer. Joyce Mayer say, "Honey, you're not getting younger.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting younger. I mean, we want or not, we're getting old. And being old, many people will say is a question of mind, is a question of this or that. But someday you wake up and you have a pain somewhere, you don't know the reason, your body start itching, and you just don't know where this is coming from, right? So I mean, it's like the car, it's gonna get older. What I mean by
Yeah.
that is going to the word retirement. In the US, they have a retirement word. In Japan, they don't have it, right? Each place
Mm-hmm.
is, but since we are in the US, we should also at some point start asking ourselves, uh, 10 years from now, what my life will look like. Put the question on the table, right, from this book, what I will be doing, with whom I will be living, where we'll be living, how much we're going to spend a month, right? Start drafting and giving a prospect of those, like he talked about him want to go to Lake Tahoe, right, to
And
buy
the,
a second house.
and the wife said,
And the wife say, let's travel now that we're still young and strong enough, right? So I think I talked to Colin many times also already about that retirement thing. So you have to select the city, the thing that you want, because it's not like one day you're gonna be 60 years old or 65 years old. It's one day at the time. It comes gradually. And we get a chance to read, to learn, especially from the old people, what are their regrets. And maybe Crystal and Colum will help us about like people who are dying at the hospital. What are the most popular regrets they have? Right? Those
that's weird. When people are dying and we don't have time to ask
so
that
like people who
question.
are old, like 75, coming for,
Okay.
okay,
I
what
think
are
we
their
have a book.
regrets?
We
Well,
have
We
a
read
book.
we
We
read those things. Yeah.
no, we haven't read it yet. I think we have it
we haven't read
in
it yet.
we haven't read it yet. But it's a nurse from Australia who wrote a book about it.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh,
yeah,
Yeah. Can
yeah,
you?
anyway.
We have it on our list.
So we
I
need
think so.
to
I think so.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you
Because
don't
when
have it, I
people
can.
are dying, you want to show that compassion, especially to the family seeing the person dying, right? But what I will ask couples who live long enough um, together, and well, most of them will say, uh, well, the woman's whatever the woman says, what they do.
yeah. So that one I don't disagree with
No,
you.
that's true.
Men has
Yeah,
to
what is
not argue
this?
with their
They have a
spouse.
word with that. They have a word for that. I
Eh,
forgot the word.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, something like
The
that.
one I'm asking is like when people get to, let's say, 68 or 70 and they have a lot of money, they're rich. And you ask them, what are your regrets? And people start saying, I should have traveled. I
yes,
should have
yeah.
played
It's
a lot
what
with
is
the
it
kids.
was what the lady was the author of that book was saying. It's more
Thing.
like the how travel like memory. Oh, I should
Yeah,
spend more time with my kids when they were young. Oh, I should travel. I should even stay with my
Health.
mom and spend time with my mom and all this one. So it's more like a regret than doing. Oh, memory side than do. Oh, I
That they
regret that
didn't do.
I didn't spend 60
the
hours
love
per week.
that they feel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And one thing that I put it
So,
down and I
so in
forgot
that,
to say, one thing that I put it down and I forgot to say for Fred Thomas was, oh, you were saying that both couple has to love to read, but the author advised that you can be more diplomatic. Oh, honey,
and bring them in.
I have a homework from this book. Can you
And I
help
need your
me?
help.
So that it's
Mm-hmm.
not
Yeah.
necessary for the other part to read, but you are doing things together. And when he sees the necessity of dive deep into it, he might start reading. But at least the workbook, all this one were done both
Together.
sides, but together. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So yeah, retirement I'm talking about, but not like to say we want to go and rest and sit down, but we need to start looking at the prospect. Like when the children and beyond they were Boy Scouts, I remember one special weekend. I think you were working or something, and they had to go for some a camp out. But I have a customer scheduled to come Monday, and we didn't finish the work. So for that reason, we didn't go to that camp out. I didn't take them because you had to work, and then I went to work on that Saturday. Whatever I had to do, we did. And then Monday morning, the customer was not there. And always my customer is the end user. So my first customer is someone from Honeywell. And then when he was 11, I asked the guy, the Honeywell co-worker, hey, the end user is not here. And he said, no, they're supposed to come on Wednesday, but I want to force you. That's why I told you they're coming on Monday. I gave you a fixed schedule. So, and then, so you see, from that day, that person, I never trust any schedule from him. I never trust any finance from him. I would do stuff. And then from that day also, if the boy has something, I go for it. Because later they're grown. They're not going to have that Boy Scout anymore.
Yeah, they're
right?
gone with it.
And then we miss that forever, right? The one we went to, we have picture. I can say this is and that is, but that one I miss. So moving forward, also I put the balance on my work and my family life, right? When it's time to leave, and I got to leave, I tell you, I have family business. That's all I call it. I cannot explain it to you. It's after school or whatever. It's just family business. I got to leave. So also we need to balance from this book. There's a lot of information out there.
Yeah.
That we need to. I took note, but especially the retirement one, because here many of us we are like, I don't think except beyond Israel we are above 35, right, or 40.
We
And
are both 45.
No, Steve and Chriselle maybe.
Oh yeah, they're young.
So, but the retirement is not for other people. It's for us as well. And it's coming slowly.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
pay yourself first. It was done by richest men in Babylon as well. If we remember, 10%, you had to pay yourself 10%.
But I think 10% is low.
No, yes, according to this book, he said at least 12.5%, which is 1 hour of your time per day.
Yeah, they had to do a little bit more than the other
Than
than
not
that.
10%. Yeah, he said 20, no? He said 15 to
20,
20%.
yeah.
But there's a maximum you can put in your retirement account, right?
No.
You can put as much as you want.
It depends on what you call retirement account.
Yeah, because you have about three to 4 accounts that you can.
Yeah, he said 4 accounts: the emergency, the safety, the security. Or we are talking only about the retirement account itself. You still have many options. Yeah, I see. And then it is limitless because your brokerage is the last one, in which you can still put so much as you can. It's just your savings account. So there's no limit.
Like right now, you can put 401k. That one has a limit. I think is you just Google it. Is 20,000, around 20,000. That has a limit.
Something.
Yeah, and also from there you can have a rough 401k, and that rough 401k means that is after tax money. The 401k is before tax money. So you see already the options, and also you can open your own IRA. IRA means that is a private one. It's not through your. You can have your IRA. You can have Roth IRA. So you see all those options, and all this one has a cap. So if we say 18 here, 6 there, 5 there, 5 there, how much you are making. The money is finished already.
All the money will go.
The IRA is some limit, right? If you make some threshold of income, you're not qualified for IRA.
Yeah, you are qualified, but you cannot deduct the tax wise. And also, we just talk about health saving accounts. You see,
Yeah.
and also is a brokerage that you can make an investment. There's no tax benefits there, but you can keep it for 2 or 3 years before you take it, because if you don't sell, if you don't do anything, you don't pay tax on it.
Yeah, but on that saving account, like if you taking money out of it to invest,
What saving account?
have saving accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you during the year you have to go to the hospital or to the doctor's appointment and use some, how does that affect your investment?
The one you invest is no longer there.
Oh, you already think
No, it's no longer there. But if you want it,
But you can sell.
they will sell it for you. They will sell it.
You can sell
okay.
Yeah, because if they need it, they will sell
So
it.
you invest part of it.
Yeah, you invest part of it.
Yeah,
And you keep some for yourself.
yeah.
Okay.
I
Because
have a quick question.
Go
It's a good
ahead.
country.
My question is it best to put money into the Roth or the traditional?
It's like you come to me and say, is it good to eat rice or bread or pasta? It depends. That's the
Mhm.
first.
Depend
The
on.
Because
first.
I've heard story that
Mm,
people are taxed more when they are young,
mm,
but I have heard one of my elder workers told me that she's been tasked more
mm,
now that she's older compared to when she was a little bit younger with children and everything. So I'm wondering,
mm,
why should, when you think about it now and then,
mm,
because I believe the Roth is you already tax on it,
mm.
and then the traditional is like no tax and you pay tax later. If
Yeah.
I'm right.
So yeah, you're totally right on all this one that you said, but it depends. Why it depends? Because rough means that is after tax. Let's say that you put 10,000 there in rough array, and
Mm-hmm.
after 5 years, the 10,000 is now 40,000. Yes, if you have the same scenario in the traditional 401k, you can no longer take that money out. But if you are stuck and you need more money, you can take the 10,000 from your account without penalty in the rough.
Mm-hmm.
You
Because
can
you
take,
already paid the tax.
yeah, because you already paid the tax. But you
upfront.
cannot pay, how you cannot draw more than 10,000, because if you draw more than 10,000 and you enter into the
Interest.
distribution, the interest, the the dividend of for your investment, then they will charge you, because you are not 59 and a half years old
Yes.
yet. So you see all this one, oh, I'm so scared that if I put all my money into the traditional, maybe if I get stuck in the future, I cannot draw anything from it. So all this one is a decision that you have to make to know which one you want. Let's say that I want to give money to my children in the future when I am no longer here. I would prefer to put it in a rough 401k. Why? Because in the future they don't need to pay anymore any tax on it. You get it? So it's just a decision. You have to know what you want and try to figure out what you want, because what your friend was telling you, when he had children in home and he was filing with those children, his tax
Was
payment
less.
was so low. The tax payment, the tax rate was low for him. But when those kids are now 26 years and now he's still working, they are consider him as a single and he has to pay a lot. So it's not one answer fits everyone. No.
Yeah. So in that case,
thank you.
it's best for her to divert a lot of pre-tax money into retirement accounts.
I didn't get the question.
For that ladies Crystal talked about, is it best for her to kind of invest in a pre-tax retirement accounts like 401k or IRA?
For sure, you don't expect the government to set a rule that will be in their disadvantage.
Lower tax.
No, they know what they are playing. If you don't meet the tax man when you are going to that retirement, when you are coming back, you have to meet him. Either way. Going, you have to pay. Oh, okay, I don't want to pay now. In the future, you will pay. So it depends what rate you want to apply. Me, I just divide both. I put some in the 401k and some in Roth, so that I feel like, okay, I have the option that, okay, if there's emergency, I can go to the Roth and get some money out.
Roth and get some. Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
okay. There's one thing maybe that that person didn't add, because the way Christelle asked the question also presumes that the lady said, okay, I was advised I should put more money into Roth after tax. And then now that my kids are no longer here, my taxes are higher. However, there's one thing for sure. If she were to wait until she passes the 59.5 years old and get into the senior, a bracket of tax payment, her taxes drop again. Okay, so sometimes if you are not considering the possibility to withdraw the money and you are focusing mainly on saving towards 60 years old, the Roth seems the best. And then, as Fred Arun was saying, it depends. But we kept presuming that the probability the government increases taxes is much higher than decreasing the taxes. So if you have already paid them now, the probability you have less to owe them in the future is higher. It's still probability than the probability you pay, more. Therefore, paying it earlier if you want to focus on leaving the money, not even to give any room of withdrawing it in case of any emergency, putting it in Roth might be better. You have higher probability to be a winner on tax wise than to put it into traditional. That is the a general way to look at it.
And there's another thing for both of them. Let's say that you put money in and you say, oh, I'm still rich somewhere else, I can leave the money. When you reach 70 years, the government is starting forcing you to take money out from the traditional. You have to take, they say, obligatory
disbursement.
Disbursement, yes. You have to take those ones. But if you have a Roth, they don't care. You can leave it there. And also,
because they want the tax.
Yeah, they want you to take it so that you can pay the tax.
Yes. So if you have a kid, they can still get that one free of charge. They are not paying any tax for the Roth. But the traditional, they have to pay taxes. So there are so many conditions that
situation. But if, let's say, if the kid, like something happened or whatever, and the kid take, even if you already paid the tax and you have a Roth 401k, when the kid get that, they will pay tax on it as income at the end of the year, right?
No. No, if you are already 60 years old, yes, there's no more payment for them. So
For the kid.
for the
Okay.
kids, for the kids. So you see, there are so many.
Even in the interest,
Hmm?
you got to
And then
pay
the
taxes
reason
on
why there's nothing
the
for the kid
interest.
to pay is that you don't need to it doesn't need to be clearly defined that they are spending the money, because you withdraw
Yeah.
the money. You do not need to give explanation into how the
Referring
money got
to
spent.
where,
Yeah, but
yeah.
even you pass
Well,
away,
if
they are
that
getting
money
free.
yields some interest, if that money yields some interest, are they going to pay taxes on the interest?
No, when the person who who own it is more than 60 years old. No, but before, yes.
Oh.
But if it was a traditional 401k, when you withdraw it, you pay tax on both, right? Because you
That's
didn't pay
and
pre-tax. You didn't get
Yes,
them the money
yes,
early enough.
yeah.
yeah.
So there are a lot of people who say, is it good to pay on the seed or to pay on the harvest?
On the three.
Because on the seed is just maybe 10 grains, 10 seed that you want to plant. So it's better that you pay on the seed by maybe removing
And
one or two seeds. But if you leave it and now it's producing a lot of fruit, a lot of harvesting fruit seed, then the payment. So it depends. It's not that a one solution
Your
fits
uncle,
all.
your uncle
because
gonna come. Yeah.
this guy said it's better to invest a lot of money on the pre-tax one because
Yeah.
it goes into investment and make you a lot more money,
Yes.
Yeah, the rough.
right?
Yeah.
But your uncle gonna
Yeah.
take what?
The uncle is not going to take all of them, right?
No,
Uncle
it's
will
just
take a
the
little
same
Not
bit.
after.
percentage. It's the percentage. Now look at it as if he is taking 20%, for example, and you have 10,000. He was supposed to take 2,000. Then you have 100,000. He will say 20,000. He will take 20,000.
No,
Yeah.
But you are no longer at 8. You are also
no.
collecting 80,000. You
Yeah,
get
but
the
by the
point?
time by the time you get to have 100, your tax bracket might already increase to 28 or 30 something, right? Because when you're younger, you might be in the lower bracket. But at
Or
the time you get close to retirement, you
or
earn
you
enough.
you make some error and move state from Texas to New York or California, and then
To New York, and then you have state tax.
yeah,
Yeah.
You have to move to
So
Florida.
it's
I think that's
anyway. It's a little, but
That is a
all
good
what we are talking
sure.
about are still very limited fun. And sometimes I just say that just follow your heart, save as much as you can. And as far as you are saving, you are in the good hand, because we are talking about
so
7,500 a whole year, and we are talking about
don't, don't,
18,000.
don't don't say only saving dash investment.
Oh yeah, we are. That is what we are saying.
Okay.
As you are holding on to it, and that the overall thing we are talking about is 7,000 or 8,000 being held on, or 20,000 a whole year being held on. Save it and
yeah,
move
so
on
maybe
without thinking is
next
better
time,
than not to do it at all.
yeah, next time we'll talk probably about how to change your 401k traditional to the Roth, right? How to do the conversion and
Okay.
not pay that much. And so, because that's what, at the end, like Charlie was saying, there is no law in this country where the tax rate goes down, except for the very, very, very rich. So the tax that you're gonna pay later will be higher than the one of today.
Yeah.
The government doesn't make any law to lower the tax, right? So if we can pay them today, pay them and be rough.
All right.
You bet.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And a good book. And
Thank
don't
you,
forget
guys.
the challenge for next week.
Yeah.
We've been
We have
challenging
to take
ourselves
action.
so much.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do your 7-day inventory.
Okay, that's a challenge.
Yeah. Okay. Have a
Okay,
good
bye.
night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night, guys. Good night.